Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome to episode 199 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. Sometimes our dreams feel far off and that they are way too big. And other times it feels like we've just lost the capacity to dream because life feels so tiring. And it's like we don't have the time to dream beyond today. So if you're in either of these camps, this is not a problem. Today's podcast will break down why you need to start dreaming again. It has been 2 years since I picked up surfing. And this week, Jay, my husband and partner, and I are attending a week-long surf camp, and I will tell you more about how it all went, but the real gold in this story is how it all started. It was about 6 years ago when I was in the Catskills, which are some mountains just north of New York City, and I was hiking with Jay, just the two of us. I asked him a question, as I do, about what kind of life he would have if he got dropped down on this planet again and didn't have any ties to anything, anyone, and anywhere. I was in the midst of creating Career Revelation Academy, which is my flagship career change course that you get to experience when you join the coaching program. And that was really on my mind. And he said he'd be a surfer somewhere. So that was also to my surprise because that was the same answer that I had. I hadn't told him what I was thinking, but I had thought of the answer to myself. I'd be a surf bum somewhere. And it wasn't like I was this person that considered myself a surfer or anything like that. It was just this thought of how different that lifestyle was to the one that we had. Salty skin, salty hair, just less stuff, more nature, super raw, and just this feeling of being so untethered. We do not live near a beach. I mean, we are a few hours probably. Maybe you can get to the beach if you keep driving a little bit, but we're not like within close access to a beach. An hour and a half maybe is the shortest, and maybe an hour if we're looking at a beach that's just water but not actually waves. We lived near a river. You get the deal. We hadn't even really surfed before, and I may have taken one lesson in Brazil on a business school trip many years ago, but this definitely wasn't our life. And fast forward 4 years later, I'm leading a retreat in Costa Rica. And the week after, Jay and our girls meet me and we hang out for another week in Costa Rica. We picked this house from Airbnb based on the design of the house, not even really knowing much about where it was. But it ended up being in one of the top surf spots in Costa Rica. We decided to take a lesson. And I remember that one moment where I was hooked. I looked over to the right. I was coming in after I just finished kind of riding a wave, and I just saw this mist coming up over the water and the mountains just beyond the beach and that blue sky everywhere, and I saw why people love this thing called surfing. I just felt it. I was like, oh, this is why. And Jay was just as hooked. It was the energy. It was so palpable. We took another lesson that week. And then we decided to come back to the same place for 4 weeks that summer. And there was just so much fun anticipation leading up to that trip in the summer. We would get to stay near the water for a month. We would get to pick up a little more surfing and just have more fun in the water. We were beginners at it, but we really didn't mind. And And so the next summer, we ended up at another beach, this time off the coast of Mexico. We took a couple more lessons. And then this past spiritual achiever retreat that just happened a month ago happened to be at one of the top surfing destinations in the world, but the top surfing destination in Mexico. And this was funny because this was also unplanned, because I was picking it off based off the location of the villa and the villa itself. Yet when I shared the location with Jay, he was the one who told me, Puerto Escondido is one of the top surf spots in the world. He follows a lot more surfing content and reads a lot more about surfing than I do. So he knew about these places. So we tagged a trip onto the retreat, and the family and we were all there together. We did a little more surfing there. And so now, a month later, we are taking this week-long surf camp in El Salvador, and we have another summer trip planned where we happen to be in some pretty fun surfing destinations, maybe 2 different ones in really different parts of the world. And I'm looking around, figuratively looking around our life, thinking we're suddenly these surfing people, even though this is not like our thing. It looks like and it feels like it is our thing. So this is the power of dreaming. Unrealistic yet open-minded dreaming. We do not do this enough. We get bogged down in the day-to-day life to-do list. We stay safe. We fear rocking the boat so much that we forget about the things that we are interested in and who we are if we didn't have to be anyone to anyone. And yet when this happens, and I can see it in people's energy when I see them, our lives just stop moving with the arc of our dreams. We start living this life based on all the things that we've already done. We don't ask as many questions. We don't give ourselves the opportunities to feel like beginners again. If you have that tendency to stop the big ideas and the dreams from coming forward in your own mind, you are not alone. Every day I talk to people who tell me about ideas that they feel are not worth sharing. They feel almost embarrassed that they have dreams or things that they're thinking about and haven't done. They feel like they're the only ones that have stopped doing the things that they've dreamed about. And because they consider themselves responsible, pretty successful, quote unquote, people in their lives, they kind of feel it's weird to have ideas that haven't been created. And this is where coaching and being in community with people who are pushing the boundaries of what their current minds, bodies, spirits, and lives are capable of come into play. This is why this work works. I help people make their dream lives their real lives through practical strategies, spiritual work. And practical strategies are ones that help you finally execute, start, and finish the things that are open decision loops that are holding on to vast amounts of energy in your brain. If you could only imagine that your current life wasn't so hard, how much more energy, time, and money you would have available to you. The ideas of, should I switch jobs? When? Should I go back to school? Should I take a break? Should I help my partner with their big decision? Should I tell my kids what I really think? Am I doing all this right? Those things start to decrease. And then when you do the spiritual work, that helps you heal from this condition of feeling like you're never quite happy or you're never fully yourself. And if you never feel that way, you will never try to do other things because the current foundation of your life feels so shaky. And this inner work guides how light you feel moving through the world, how incongruent you are between what you do, what you say, and what you believe. To be someone that fully trusts themselves, their word, and is fully trusted by the people around them. And to really leave things better than they found them without resentment or burning themselves out. And this self-trust is the confidence boost that keeps you in a place where you're able to dream things that have not yet come into reality and start to see them come, even if they're not like the only thing you're focused on in your life. Like you think sometimes like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make a change and it has to be the main focus of my entire life. That is so not true. The way this surfing thing has come about is the same way that your dream jobs can come about, through this inevitable forward movement that you have when you start to shift and change who you are deep inside. It is so much less work than people realize, and it's so much lighter. Like I always think, why wouldn't you want this if you knew it was available? My little kitty just jumped up. So when you start to dream again, when you start to use these strategies, your life will start to open up. You're able to move through hard things versus where you might feel like today, where the things feel like they are constant, they're overwhelming, and like they just never end. So there is a life of feeling constantly exhausted and that things are never enough, or a life where you start dreaming and living the dream and being supported to having that dreamy life. And if you want to choose the latter, you'll want to watch my free training on how to stand out and lead in the best of ways. You can go to the show notes and find the link there, and then join me inside Spiritual Achiever Coaching Program. You will go to mayemson.com/spiritual achiever. It is risk-free. Try out the first month coaching session with me one-on-one. And if you don't see the changes you're looking for, just email us and you will get your money back. We will get clarity on what you want next, and then we'll figure out how to go and do it. And you will do it. So again, if you haven't watched it already, you'll want to watch the free training on how to stand out and lead. And you can create this next chapter with this calm confidence, much more aliveness and fun, and finally achieve the time and financial freedom to be able to live your best life. So go to the show notes to get access to that training now. I love you, my friends. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.